Now, we talked about this, and I want to bring it up again because I think it has to do, the Leafs game against Chicago, I think, had a lot of relevancy to the Leafs game last night. And I want to start with Reaves versus Perry. Now, you remember the quote where Ryan Reaves says, and it's been making the rounds, he's like, I never really liked Corey Perry. He acts tough. He's not tough. Luke Richardson, who, by the way, I'm a big fan of.
Yes.
And I've been saying for years this guy's going to be a great coach.
I think he's a good coach.
This is what Luke Richardson had to say. Perry was yapping at him from the bench and told him he lost his last 2 fights. So Reaves asked him, what are you going to do? You're scared of me. And Corey is like, I've never been scared a day in my life. For the young players to hear that and then go out and see him wrestle with Reaves, he said, wrestle Reaves to the ice and then score the game-winning goal. Who's more effective in that game?
Oh, I mean, obviously Corey Perry is the more effective.
And if you're a Blackhawks fan, you're not like, fucking right. Love this coach. Love this player.
No, absolutely. I mean, Ryan Reaves lost a ton of points this week. I went off yesterday in the LFR video. Like, listen, games 1 and game 2, highly relevant player. You had a big hit that led to someone jumping you and getting into a fight in both games. You were called on a penalty for neither of those hits. That's exactly what you want Ryan Reaves to do. Yapping at Corey Perry, whatever. It's fine. It was good that, the Blackhawks young guys took something from that with Corey Perry. I mean, his fight card is a big pile of what the hell is this? But, he's not afraid. He turtles a lot, but he's not afraid.
He's not afraid because he doesn't have to fight, because he won't.
Well, sometimes he does. He picks his spots very well.
Of course he does. He's good at it.
Yes. You look at his fight card and there's like Ben Harper on there and you're like, how did that sneak in there? But then he's got like Vinny Trocheck. Mm-hmm. And like it's really strange. But Ryan Reaves, last night against the Florida Panthers, Leafs were the second toughest team. And toughness, lots of toughness. All they've been talking about is snot and toughness. And they showed dick all against the Florida Panthers. Nylander was run from behind. There's no penalty. What happens when someone is run from behind and there's no penalty? In hockey.
You have to fight someone. Usually.
Yes. So, what is Ryan Reaves supposed to do? Instigate a fight and put his team short? Yes. It's game 4. It's game 4. And there are 82 games in the season. Someone hits Nylander.
So if it's game 4 of the playoffs, maybe not.
Game before the playoffs.
Game 4 of the playoffs.
Oh, game 4 of the playoffs. Yeah, sorry. Maybe you don't do it. Game 4 of the regular season, someone hits one of your best players from behind and there's no penalty call. Your next shift, you confetti gloves and beat the fuck out of that person. That is how hockey has always worked. Steve, are you condoning this, condoning that? No, I'm just not a naive idiot. This is how it has always fucking worked. From the moment I was born until today, October 2023, it is how it's always worked. And instead, less than 7 minutes played, 2 hits, -1, took a penalty. Fuck are you doing out there?
Jesse, you agree with that?
Yeah, I sat there after the William Nylander incident. I was like, what's the point of having Ryan Reaves if it isn't for this? I thought this was the exact team in the exact scenario that we hired this man for. Go out there and do something about that hit, because it was dangerous, especially because of that weird area where you're standing like a foot from the boards, where you have an opportunity to go head first into it. You're not right up against it, so you don't just smack there. You get your body crunched into it, and it's bending. It's on the floor. That's how you like ruin your spine for life.
And you could be like, well, it was an accident on Kulikov. It shouldn't have been boarding. Shouldn't have been hitting from behind. I don't give a fuck if it's a penalty. Your star player got hurt. Beat him up.
Yeah, your star player got hurt in a very dangerous hit, and I think that's what Ryan Reaves was hired for. That, along with all the off-ice stuff, getting the lineup to be happy in the locker room, and playing music and all that other stuff, and taking attention away. This was the game where we needed Ryan Reaves the most, and I don't know where he was.
Like you are what are the Leafs going to get the Panthers for Father's Day? Is all I want to know. Like before the game, they asked Paul Maurice. They asked Paul Maurice.
I have the quote if you want it.
They asked Paul Maurice about
the Radko Gudas thing.
About the Radko Gudas screaming
Jesse,
in their rookie goaltender.
I'm gonna send you the picture here too, because I think it's relevant. Unless you, I've got it on a tweet. Okay, so because this is important. And I think you're onto something here. So I'm not going to take it away.
But believe me, I know I'm right.
Luke Fox.
People won't like it, but I know I'm right.
We thought it was kind of funny. This is the Radko Gudas yelling at Joseph Wall after the series clinching goal.
But he thought that was kind of funny. Look at that shit.
He's just such an emotional guy. It was a barbaric yelp. People from Toronto didn't appreciate it the same way we did. Now, Paul Maurice was run out of town here too. So anyone
unfairly,
but anytime he can get one over on the Leafs, he's going to. And I don't want to blame him for that.
By the way, with the Florida Panthers, you know the term suspension of disbelief? If you've ever had trouble understanding what that term means, look no further than the rivalry between these two teams. Because the "We Want Florida" chant, the Panthers fans chanted it, and people were like, "This is awesome. Oh my fucking God." They loved it so much. Meanwhile, they said, "We want Boston too." Everyone knows that they said "We want Boston" as well, which is more psychotic, by the way, that Leaf fans would want Boston in any situation. But no one gives a fuck because it's funny to them. So they're able to suspend disbelief. No, Leaf fans said this and only this, therefore I'm going to think this is funny for the rest of my life. This is Jergens for me mentally for the rest of my entire life.
Stop.
It absolutely, the amount
that's a
of
lotion.
masturbatory tweets I saw for that stupid chant based in a dishonest social media post.
I thought we were past that.
We're not.
I don't think we can get past
the Leafs
that.
getting dunked on?
No,
you think the hockey world would ever get past that?
After the Florida Panthers handed the Leafs their lunch, I thought we were past no, they won. Like, you can't be like, oh yeah, they're doing all this mental. No, they won. They did sun us.
Yeah, they sunned them.
Okay,
and then
as long as
before
we're
the
in
game,
agreement. The Leafs fans lost.
No, they lost.
Okay,
they lost.
We lost collectively.
I mean,
it was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing, but the meme is somewhat based in bullshit.
Okay,
yeah,
they won.
They won.
Yeah, they dunked on us. They just admit it.
Yes,
okay.
And then before the game. We thought that guy screaming at our rookie goaltender was funny. And Ryan Reaves at a fucking golf tournament in the summer was like, well, if I was there, if you were there, what? Mm-hmm. If you were there, nothing. If you were there, nothing.
Because last night
you had your opportunity.
He did nothing.
You had your opportunity against a watered-down Florida Panthers team. They gave you a reason to do something, and you didn't do anything.
So beyond that, here are the reasons, okay? Here are the reasons. This is important. The context of this game, if you didn't watch this game, if you're not a Leafs fan, is the Panthers eliminated the Leafs from the playoffs, yes. Yep. They also raised their Eastern Conference banner while Toronto was in town, which most Toronto fans, and I would venture players and organization, thought, we got a really good shot at this before they took on Florida and got stomped.
Yep.
And Aaron Ekblad, Brandon Montour, and Sam Bennett are all out with injuries.
2/3 of their right side and a guy who caused them physical headaches.
Now, while I give you...
You suck.
Now I get it. It's game 4.
You suck.
It's game 4. But this one, if you're a Leaf fan, tell me how you don't get up for this, right? Leaf fans are up for this. Leaf fans were fired up. And I was fired up for all those reasons. I'm like, great. They have injuries. Let's kick their ass. Yeah. No, this will be great.
They're big old bluffers.
And they came out really soft. I think that Jeff O'Neill did a really great job after the first period pointing out how soft they were, especially on defense. And this is not about throwing a hit when you're out of position. This is about crunching a guy in the corner who's along the boards. And the guy that who I'm a huge fan of, who needs to step up, needs to be a core member of the top 4 players that play defense on this team going forward, is Jake McCabe. I need him to figure it out.
He was crunching guys last night. I don't know how productive it was.
Well, so there was one instance in the first period where he literally just bums a guy, just puts a bum in him.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it doesn't, so when you hit somebody, the tactical advantage is that you're able to either pin them, knock them off the puck, or both. None of those things happen.
Their whole decor is lost out there. Which, I mean, heading into the season, I didn't think it was going to be that good. It's early. They'll figure it out. They'll be better than this, but they look lost right now.
I didn't think the McCabe-Liljegren pairing worked.
I think if Brad Treliving could tie Liljegren to a rocket, he would. I think he might be the first person he trades.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not his kind of defenseman?
No. Dude, in 32 Thoughts, one of the Sam Lafferty trade possibilities that Elliot Friedman talked about is supposedly, if I'm remembering correct, they offered Sam Lafferty to the Oilers for Vinny Desharnais.
Ooh, not Seaweed Man.
Well, I mean, what do they want?
Why do you want the Oilers defense?
Well, yeah, first of all, the Leafs
What
and
are you
Oilers
doing?
need to stop exchanging defensemen. Like,
Oilers fans would have been thrilled, I think.
probably.
Yeah.
No, what a fucking awesome trade that would have been for Edmonton. But like they're soft as baby shit back there. They're soft as baby shit.
And they got a guy now. Klingberg's not hard. Riley can throw it, but he's not like a tough guy.
What a clueless play by Klingberg on the first call.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk about a guy who didn't, for someone who is paid over $4 million for their vision, he passed it to nobody.
Yeah.
He backhand, no shoulder check, passed it to absolutely no one. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like last night, there were so many "what are you doing" performances.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know it's game 4. We take like I said this after game 2. We take all of this on balance. You got to take it like 10 games at a time in the regular season because there's how many games?
82.
Thank you. But I feel like last night as a fan, it was the first time this year where I was like, okay, guys, you couldn't get up for this one. You could. You're in their building. They're chanting, "We want Florida." They're bringing their Eastern Conference banner and they're putting it up in front of you.
The dozens of them getting fired up for the almost banner.
The coach is giving you their coach is giving you shit,
He's making fun of you.
and you
listen.
can't get up for like athletes invent shit all the time. Like Tom Brady. No one thought we could do it when everybody thought he could do it.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, Tom Brady's going to win the Super Bowl. He's like, nobody thought we could do it. And he's standing there with Giselle. And we're like, yeah, Tom, whatever you need to tell yourself to get fired up. And or the Michael Jordan meme, like, and then I took that personally. And it's something super small.
They haven't taken it personally in their entire life.
I would love for the Leafs to take something personally.
No.
That one, as a fan, because I'm a fan first, I took it personally. I was fired up. I'm like, let's go fucking kick their ass.
Do not bring lunch money when the Leafs are in town. They're buying.
I think they need
They're buying every time.
I think they need to figure out a lot of the bottom 6.
I agree with you.
The fourth line especially wasn't great, and like Minton's trying out there, but he's not doing his best. Noah Gregor is so fast, like he's running around, but he has no finish yet, and that's unfortunate.
I like his game, and
Domi's non-existent.
No, he's irrelevant out there. It's crazy. Someone tweeted, they're like, hey, he had 56 points. He had 13 points in 19 playoff games. How? How the fuck? I've barely even seen the puck on his stick. And he's not long for this team. He's going to be gone. But Fraser Minton, he's out of his depth, but he took a lick and kept on ticking. Like there was one shift in particular where he got rocked like 4 times.
Yeah, he was standing in front of the net, and I forget who he was battling, but that guy was just giving him cross checks.
Might have
constantly.
been Nico.
He played
another guy who could have probably used an ass kicking, and no one was there.
8 minutes and 47 seconds for Minton. At this point, I'm wondering, why keep him the complimentary 9 games or whatever it is? Just put him back.
They got to be up to something. They got to be thinking of something.
Jesse, what were you gonna say?
There's no way they think this is the optimal lineup. There's no way.
They did have a move today. They recalled Pontus Holmberg. Simon Benoit was loaned to the Marlies, so I don't know if that's anything.
That's it.
Simon Benoit, who is supposed to bring the toughness, right?
Wow.
If he plays.
If he plays, which he has.
Yeah, he hasn't. So.
I mean, but the fact, like, listen, we all watched Simon Benoit in the preseason. It was horrible.
He needs to play some games because he missed a good part of the preseason.
He'll do that at Coca-Cola Coliseum.
Yeah, he needs to play some games, but that guy crushes people. Like, this is what they're looking for. And
if you look at the way, listen, you can agree with the strategy or not. This is how Brad Treliving builds a defense. Look at what he had in Calgary, and he had one of the best defense cores in the league.
Anderson, Rasmus Anderson, Oliver Shillington,
Noah Hannafin, Mackenzie Weegar,
Nikita Zadorov is snot. I'm trying to think of who else is on that D-core. It's a really good, really deep D.
You could have a Zadorov when your top 4 looked like theirs did.
Yes.
You can't have a Zadorov or a lesser version of Zadorov being Simon Benoit on the ice if your top 4 can't figure it out, which brought me back to the McCabe-Liljegren pairing, which for me was like, and Jake McCabe, there's one partner he plays really well with where he looks good. and it's just everybody else.
Brody?
He seems. I don't even know, but yeah, this is the thing. This
But
is the guy
Riley Brody, I think is fine. Like I
like
have no
that
problem
view.
with
Yeah.
Riley Brody. I think, and like, did you bring in John Klingberg to be your third pairing defenseman and work with Giordano?
Not for $4
Like that's
million
not
bucks.
why you brought in Klingberg. So it's weird that McCabe and Liljegren received so much time on ice, and those kind of like Riley played the most, but a lot of it was even. It was like 18 through 22 for everybody.
Yeah.
You know.
And like, listen, the world is not, the sky is not falling.
No.
Austin Matthews is playing like a maniac. Like a maniac. Him on the PK is crazy.
Mitch Marner had his best game of the season.
Yeah, and even his first period was a bit of a struggle, but then he scored.
Yeah.
But I'm still okay with saying last night was a what the fuck.
Yeah.
I've never understood the whole thing, and I think this only belongs to Twitter, where it's like, calm down. No, fuck off, man. I'm a fan. I wasted my spare time on that piece of shit game. I'm allowed to be mad.
Right.
about
No,
it.
but we were just saying both. Like there's a lot of good things that happened in the first 4 games, and last night was a mess.
Totally.